Hello everyone, happy Sunday to you and welcome back to the shop. Here we are with a lovely cup of tea on a blustering, beautiful Sunday, little afternoon. Just wrap things up with the tea time. We did the Patreon. We had a terrific conversation. Well, especially as we head into the holidays and all that, getting cozy. Makes me happy. Super excited to have a conversation with you, hang out. Hey, Doma, great to have you here. Hope you're all having a terrific day. It's maybe a day of rest for you. Maybe it's super productive. Maybe it's around family. Who knows? Good afternoon to you as well. Oh man, cheers. Last Sunday, we did a live with Scott Sava, an amazing artist, and oh man, how much joy was that? I loved that so much. I'm excited to do more collaborations. Maybe we'll paint something together again, or maybe I'll forge something out of steel that would house his art. Who knows? It's the greatest. Cameron, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. I am gonna try something here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there we go. Terrific. All right. My brightness was super dim and I was like, wow, I can't hardly even see anything. Here we are. We're in the forge. I got yet another, my fourth Thanksgiving. This is the Friendsgiving. I'm almost Thanksgivinged out. For those of you Americans out there that celebrate, I got gravy coming out my ears. But it's been great. It's been amazing. British Columbia, how are you doing? Oh, this is great. Can't stay, but have a great day. Tori, I'm so glad to see you. Or sorry, Troy. I have Tori in my brain. She's a friend of mine. It's Tori Fox. You're obviously Troy Fox. Very easy for me to mix up and scramble in my already scrambled brain. But thanks for stopping in. Guy, what are you working on? What are you guys doing? I got some mashed potatoes to start cooking up here in a second. I'm super excited. Oh, nice to see you too, Moons. Oh, it was such a joy to have you in tea time this morning. Oh, Timmy, how goes the Iron Oak? Well, actually, I have some more updates coming very soon for you. I'm excited for you to see it because we're almost there. We're almost there, baby. This week is the last week for a sword holder for a friend. No kidding. A sword holder, like with a couple hooks, the sword hangs. Morning is 9 p.m. I know. Yeah, time zones, it's hard to even have good afternoons or anything like that, because it's a worldwide community. How cool is that we're able to share this moment all together, all at the same time? Oh, well, since it is 9 p.m. over there in Germany, maybe we'll tone it down a little bit, maybe do some sleepy time vibes, to lull you into dreams. Wait, wanting to get into metal fab. That's amazing, Ray, that's incredible. Already hooked on woodworking. Well, it's amazing to be able to conjoin both trades, both disciplines. These are so many parallels between any trade. You take anybody that is, even come close to mastering a skill, you get them into a one that you would perceive wildly unrelated, and they'll take to it like fish to water. Because there's disciplines. There's disciplines and there's codes when it comes to building things. And it's very easy to apply those to other crafts, other trades, because you have all those motor skills, all of those neural pathways ready to rock and roll. It's so cool. And I'm so glad you're getting into metal fab. Oh, yeah, combo of both. Merge the two. Why not? If you got both skills, it's actually funny. So people ask me how do I do what you do? Or how do I find success in being a creative, right? Honestly, it really boiled down for me is trying to mix all the things that I'm good at into one package with a big old bow on it. You know what I mean? Because being imaginative, that's the big one. I'm able to picture highly complex three-dimensional machines as if I have internal AutoCAD. That's a huge skill, a blessing that I've worked on my entire life that I'm very grateful for. Also, metalsmithing, I was able to get that in there, but also working with people, being very personable and, being able to, try and bring an idea to them and, sell them on it, and then drawing. And I was able to kind of mold all those together into one package. And I highly suggest you to do the same if you wanted to go out and forge your own path. It's going to be hard, but if you can get all of those things that you're good at compiled into one skill set, it's pretty hard to not find success. Oh, I got to catch up with the chat. I've been missing out on stuff. Hey, I know it's been a bit. Finn has returned to your streams. Hey, that's wonderful. Yeah, I love these so much because it's a great way for me to check on the pulse of my community and also for you to get some one-on-one time with me. It's one thing to post videos, but it's entirely different when we could share some space together, have a cup of tea, and share some space. I love it because then I can answer your questions, take suggestions. Like, hey, let's do that right now. Do you have a suggestion for me? Maybe it's about future content or stuff you might not like about my content. Let's hear it. But I am sensitive, so be gentle with me, all right? God, I love this season. Right now I have a fire going in the fireplace. I love getting into the cold, cozy seasons. I pretty much like every season besides summer. We have brutal summers at well over 100 degrees. Oh, and speaking of cozy, Copper Dog, come here, buddy. Let's check in with Mr. Copper Dog. But yeah, give me some suggestions or concerns or changes you would like to see. Oh, here he is, Mr. Copper Dog. He's such a good boy. He's a good old shop dog. He's a good old dog. I do construction remodeling at the moment. An amazing. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's actually where I started, was in construction. Because I was able to, that way I was able to afford to work during the mornings and day, and I'd get home and forge at night. And that was all throughout my teens and 20s. It was brutal, brutal stuff. Love this session with Scott last week. Emma, that makes me so happy. Yeah, how's the watercolor? I haven't done it since. I haven't tried it since. I really want to start I want to start playing around with it, especially on like my big sheets of paper that I'm usually. I know it's not watercolor paper, but I've asked Scott if I could use those big pages, those big bond sheets that I draft all of my works on. But they're definitely not. They're definitely not watercolor paper, and Scott told me they won't work. But I got that sick brain where I'm like, I have to test it. I have to find out for myself that it doesn't work. I have to see it. I got to have the water run off the page, because it's not absorbing anything. Like, I don't know. Are you that way? Or you actually have to do a test, the scientific method to test it on your own. You know what I mean? I can't take anybody's word for it. I have to see it for myself. Mess around and find out. Emma, you got it. Well, you never know what you might discover. Who knows? There's a whole world out there to discover. And you know what? Be brave to experiment. And, Scott's the best. Scott totally rocks. And I'm super honored to be able to call him my friend. So I'm really excited to do, you know what? This isn't spoilers. Actually, it might be spoilers, but don't tell anyone. But we're thinking about doing a more physical collaboration where I might make something out of steel that might be incorporated in his artwork. Wouldn't that be cool? Right? With all of his just umptious color, mixed with my steel. God, I would love that. Scott introduced me to many different people. There's so many cool, that's the best. See, that's the coolest thing about people in rabbit holes. Is that a different anvil? Nope, Jerry. This is my usual one. This is my workhorse. I love this anvil. I've actually owned this since it was brand new. I worked on old anvils my entire life, and I bought this brand new when I was a teenager, and I've never looked back. But, right? Awesome idea, right? I know. But when you start swinging bigger hammers, against bigger steel, like I've outgrown this animal by quite a bit. So one day I'll get into that about 300-pound range where I kind of need to be. But we'll get there, baby. There's no rush. My shop isn't big enough to house an animal that big, so all in due time. One day, when we build the new facility. I'm so excited for that day. Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. But then I can get you guys out here for classes and come forge for a weekend. Could you do reviews on smithing in movies? Oh, gladly. It's usually hilarious. But I love movies so much. I like to be as big of an optimist as I possibly can be, because I think it's easier to have a poor opinion of something than it is to be a positive one. So like when it comes like movie critics and stuff like that, I like to ask okay, sure, that's a very valid point, but what the hell have you made? You know what I mean? What have you done? What have you created? Because it takes a lot of bravery and courage and hard work to create. And for someone to just, make a career on just tearing it down, I don't know. For some reason, for my disciplines and my soul, it's hard. It's hard for me. But I could totally pick apart some, I don't think I've ever seen accurate movie smithing or even video game smithing. Because it wouldn't be hard to hire a blacksmith for a 2-hour conversation. Just okay, this is a scene we want. How do we make that happen with some realism? You and Scott, is what inspired me to start character designing. Oh, that's amazing. Character design is the best. Not even Sauron making the One Ring. Well, the jewelry stuff is because it's a lot of pouring and not really. There's many ways that there are a million ways to skin a cat, right? How is that ever an adage? How is that ever a thing to say? But yeah, I've never really seen good, accurate smithing in movies or video games. But I don't hold it against them. It's not what they do. Oh, but Emma asked, what inspires me? Oh, buckle up, because there's a lot. It's everywhere. And I think, I was talking to my cousin yesterday about this. And I've never tried to explain it. I've never really tried to understand it. It's just always been a companion of mine, is my imagination, my very insatiable imagination. Because it can get dark. And I always kind of have to keep guiding it to the light as much as I can. Because things can get really dark. But the way I like to think about it is look around, okay? Take your environment. There are only 4 ways to skin a cat. Oh, yeah. So when I want to be inspired, and you can't live in a constant state of inspiration. It's almost too exhausting, because by the time it comes to building your inspiration, you can't be inspired by anything else. You got to focus, right? So it's like a dam you have to open every so often and just crack it a little bit, depending on your imagination, your proclivity to imagination. But what I like to do is look around. So, nature helps me a lot. Walking around helps me a lot. Get out in nature, maybe listen to music. Music helps a ton. I actually have a playlist called Focus on Spotify that helps me get into those modes. So it's on my link tree. Go check that out. But that helps me get inspired. But what I was trying to say is, look around in your environment. Go outside, go to a park, anywhere, even an alleyway. But act like you just got beamed in from an alternate universe, and you're looking at everything for the first time ever. Think of yourself completely unused to everything around you. Act like an alien. Act like someone that just got born a second ago, and you look at things with fresh eyes. It's a fun practice. I'll challenge yourself. Look around as if you're seeing everything for the first time, and you'll be shocked at what you might start realizing about your environment. You know, because we get so used to it. We blur past everything around us. And that's why I get a lot of inspiration, is just really try to be a foreigner in my own land, you know? Because some people travel probably for that very specific reason, seeing new things. It's an interesting mental exercise. Give it a shot, see what happens. You know, and I love to just look at art. But mainly all of my inspiration comes from within. Like I rarely see something and then I'm like, ooh, I want to build that. Never is it that way. It's usually the way something moved, or I'll see a plastic bag, flying around in a parking lot somewhere, and all of a sudden, like, whoa. Because because a lot of my work has movement, right? My work is all about flow and around hard shapes, especially inside the interior of a circle, and imagining dumping a liquid in there and be able to freeze frame that curl of the wave. Just movement. It could be wind, it could be water, whatever, right? So when you see like a plastic bag swirling around in these ellipses and helixes in a parking lot somewhere, could be dingy, but you can only imagine if the pathway of that plastic bag was somehow marked. You know, when you see like long exposure on a camera, well, they'll open that aperture for a long time and they'll take like a glow stick and move it around, and then it captures all of that movement. Try to imagine that. Try to picture the pathway and memorize it, almost like a ribbon dance. That's a huge source of inspiration for me. I don't know, give yourself some mental challenges like that. Play internal games that only you are allowed to play. You know, it's very personal, very private. You know, and then you could build it and have that artifact that you get to share with the world. Like Stuck in the Matrix. Yeah, sure. Imagine you just woke up from getting unplugged and you look around for the first time. It's a fun exercise. Highly suggested. Great questions. My goodness. Also, so sorry, I haven't shut up for the past 15 minutes. So let me get back to you over here. The frozen ice on my windshield in the morning. Yes. Little things like that. Exactly. Working on D&D wheels as we talk. Oh, yes. D&D campaigns are the best. Do you know? If not, you'd love it. I'll have to check it out. I'll remember that. I promise. Happy Thanksgiving, Joe. Happy Thanksgiving. I got my 4th Thanksgiving to go to right after this. Whew. I'm worn out. I am so much rich food. I feel sluggish. Whew, but it's great. You know, the people have been awesome. Food's been terrific. Can't ask for better. I love this time of year. It's good stuff. When we were talking about tea time this morning, you know, not everyone is blessed. Actually, very few people are blessed with a trauma-free family. You know, the holidays usually have a lot of ouchy spots. It's impossible to go through life without some, really tough things to overcome. And you reach a point in your life to where that stops being so prevalent, and you start to create new traditions with new people, and getting over that hump is just becoming the best. For me, it was becoming an uncle, and not continuing a lot of behaviors that I remember being a kid around which were awful. And, setting a new standard for these younglings, these young bloods. And being an uncle, a funkle, is the best. And it's a responsibility that I do not take lightly. You got to always keep them on their toes and so on and so forth. The best. But that's been special. That's been really special. Ooh, kinetic pieces. That's actually the direction I'm really excited to take my work, is in a huge kinetic realm. Making chimes out of really wild and whimsical wind movements. Super excited. You guys hear that frog? That frog is joining the conversation, has entered the chat, as they would say. But if you're enjoying the holidays, if not, I just wish you the best time possible. It's good stuff. And sometimes it's important to distance yourself from that. And then maybe come back one day, and maybe not. It's totally valid. Becoming an uncle brought a bit of joy back to Christmas for me. Moons, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, because it becomes such a weird shift. I'm not a father, but I am definitely an uncle. And I've noticed that, like John this morning in tea time was talking about becoming a dad. Helped him in pretty much give new meaning to the holidays. Because it's no longer about him and his experience. It's about the young ones. And that's just the coolest thing in the world. Watching the just shower of sparks of joy, it's the best. It's just the best. Oh, man. You guys are getting me worked up. You guys are getting me even more excited about this. Do you edit your videos? Yeah, right. Great question. If so, how many times does it take typically? Oh my gosh. Video editing, all this stuff. So for like the big videos, I have an editor. Thank goodness. Because I give him, Adam, like 10s and 20s and 50 hours of footage that he has to condense into like 15 minutes. Because I just let the camera roll. And he does such a good job at like pretty much grabbing the important stuff. Especially that it has to do with the tale, the story that we're trying to tell together. But yeah, video editing takes me days. It's a lot of work. But it's worth doing. It's work worth doing. Because when I read your guys' comments, it's like, oh, this is inspiring me to get into some type of trade. Like it happened just now. It happened this morning. Getting into metal fab. I couldn't ask for anything greater than to inspire others. Who would have thought? Yeah, it's an incredibly amazing place of honor for me to be able to do. I love it. I love it. Apparently super glue reacts with charcoal. Don't tempt me. We'll do some experiments right now. That's the one thing that stops me from trying to post. Honestly, Ray, I would say until your audience begins to really grow, just put it out there. Try not to put so much pressure on putting super polished content out there. This is something that I'm constantly trying to tell myself because I feel bad about the lack of volume of content that I'm giving you. I'm trying to focus on quality versus quantity. Tell me in the chat, would you rather I just dump, like a ton of content on you guys? Or would you rather me like really polish that up and give it to you every now and then? Instant reaction? Ray, what kind of reaction? My curiosity is quite dangerous. Don't be telling me stuff like this because I don't have to test it. Remember what we were talking about prior? Yeah, quality. Quality! Oh, well, that makes me happy. That makes me really happy. Seems like I can focus on project or the filming of it, not both. Jerry, 100%. Quality. Well, that makes me so happy. Because I always feel like, I'm not giving you guys enough. I'm also thinking about maybe doing a short every Monday morning, tomorrow morning, just as kind of like a boost. A little boost for you to get, go and just, strike your week. Just really get in the zone to be productive or be intentional. I want to do that. Oh, they repair. Interesting. So it becomes like a solid. A blend. I really enjoy off the cuff. Candid reaction. Oh, vlog styles. Cameron, I'll take that to heart. Thank you. Okay. That's great input because I like to give you guys something that I we put a little bit of a spit shine on, a little bit of a polish, because, you know, when I post something, I want it to be palatable, you know, rather than just like just dumping content on you, because the platforms really reward that. And I don't know, I feel like things get lost. You know, something gets lost in translation. So cool. That makes me feel better. Ray, good input. I'm so grateful for your input, you all. Like, it really helps me out a lot. And this is what I love about our Sunday chats. It's a way for us to connect, you know, from creator to other creators. I mean, like, this entire community is so wildly creative. So it's really cool to be able to bond with you guys so I can get a pulse on the channel and give you what you want to see. Yeah? I don't want to bore you with what you don't want. You know? Yeah, the frog agrees. It smells awful. Oh, the reaction? Uh-oh. You know, it's funny. So I was really big into models as a kid. You know, model planes and cars. It was great. I learned so much. Good motor skills. But I think I fried half my brain cells just on all of that glue. Just like hot boxed in my room with newspapers and just glue everywhere. My goodness. Oh, you know, we live and we learn, I guess. Brain cells well spent. That's what I like to say. No such thing as wasted time. What else? What else, chat? You got any more questions or input for me? I love to hear from you. I love reading the chat and checking in. This bug, I want to go find him, but I don't want to disturb his solitude. I think he can do too much content. Ooh, I think he do too much content. Do you all agree? I follow a few who are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. Sometimes it seems like dumping content for the sake of it rather than the quality. Wow, that's so good to hear. That's great to hear. Soaks up the moisture. Interesting. Yeah, so it just instantly solidifies. That's fascinating. It makes sense. The bluing solution for funny boom boom 6. Oh, yeah. Can make it very sick. Oh, really? Like if you ingest it? I just bought a big old bottle of bluing solution. Would you ever like to be cast in a role? Oh, Tammy, that's an amazing question. So, I always never was into acting. I honestly, just being on camera, I was super uncomfortable with. For the longest time, because it felt very self-involved, which I, back then, found very odious. You know, very self-centered and felt wrong. I would rather just show my work. But there came a time to where I got a little bit more and more comfortable with it. And the response was really kind. I felt very grateful for how kind the response was to me creating videos for you all. And I'm slowly getting more and more used to being in front of the camera. So recently I started doing more TTRPGs, tabletop games, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, and playing in front of an audience, like with the Unpredicted Party on Don Marshall's channel, which I have found so deeply rewarding. So now I feel like I would be comfortable being cast in a role. I would love it, as long as it was a role within my bandwidth of acting. I don't act, I'm just a kooky guy. So if it was in that bandwidth, let's go. Yeah, I could just be me, who knows? But yes, to answer your question, Timmy, I would be all over it. We're fortunate to have you on camera. Oh, that was amazing. Gimli, right? Oh, I'd love to play a dwarf. That'd be so much fun and do some, because then we can maybe have some proper on-screen forging that actually makes sense. I'd be all about, I would love to be like the first accurate on-screen bit of smithing content. That'd be great. I guess there was a little bit in Lord of the Rings when the when the orcs were forging the Uruk-hai's weapon, because they actually had the metalsmiths in like goblin garb doing that. So I guess it, it has happened, but very infrequently. Changing your D&D was unexpected awesome. Oh, at the same time, Ray, that's amazing. Yeah, it's not here. I just ended up, remember the tournament grounds where like the spinning, obstacles? I just tore that thing apart and built a little cityscape for my crew. Oh, my D&D table is so screwed right now. They're having to deal with like World War Z zombie apocalypse right now because it was for Halloween. But, plans fell through. People got sick, so things got pushed into November. So as is life, But yeah, I had this like cityscape all set up, and they're like trying to defend the city from just unending hordes of zombies, and that's been fun. But watching my players stress out is both great and sad at the same time. Oh, but I don't want to linger too long. I just wanted to come in, hang out with you all, and have a cup of tea with you all. But I know, it's Sunday. I want you to be as productive as you possibly can be, or rest as much as you possibly can be. Moons, it's what, 9:30 in Germany right now, so it's probably just in time for you to get some shut-eye. Oh yeah. Oh right. It's rad. And it's been really fun because they're high level. So they're casting huge spells, just blasting these swaths of undead, but they just keep coming. And they're running shy of spell slots, and now they're getting pushed back. It's great. Ooh, is it a full moon? Ooh, powerful stuff, full moons. Man. Well, on that note, everybody, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your full moon as we head closer into the darkest hours of the year. Super exciting stuff, everybody. Well, never forget how much I love you all, and don't forget to love each other, darn it. Do something kind for someone today, all right? And I'll see you next time. I'm gonna start doing like little shorts in every Monday mornings to, I don't know, kick you all in the pants a little bit and, get you guys up and going. All right, bye for now. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye. Oh, take care, everybody.